Hello, dear students. We will continue our lectures of medical diagnosis. So last time we have seen how the blood film can be prepared, how the differential blood count can be observed under microscope, and how the calculation is to be made. Now, manual cell counting by microscope can be done. Uh, since blood cells are counted per unit volume, then it is vital that the volume of the blood in which the cells are counted and corresponds to a known quantity. This makes the nebular counting chamber a useful method. This can be studied by using this slide. Actually, we have studied and calculated from this slide in the 12th science class. So, nebular counting chambers from the above with cover slip. In it, notice the two counting grids which are recognized as the crosses. This is the slide. If you observe under the microscope at the center, we can get these squares, and we can count into 16 small squares, then 25 medium sized square, and 9 big squares. So these are the squares given in the slide. So from that you can count the schematic. Here is the schematic presentation of the slide. So you can count it from the squares and the types of the cells that you observe under the microscope. So in this way you have to calculate the blood cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 you can write in this chamber 5. In this way you can calculate. Actually this is the 0.5 mm size square, and this large square is of about 0.2 mm square. In that you have to count the 16 4 4 4. So 16 cells can be counted by this way, and you can write the number of these circles, number of these dots or the cells appeared in that particular circle. So this is the lateral side position of the slide, where you are keeping the cover slip, and in this film of 1 mm, 0.1 mm, the blood smear is there, and in this blood you can count in this film you can count the number of cells present there too in the film. So this is the photographic representation of the slide, and this is the diagrammatic presentation of the slide, how to observe the cell count. So platelet count principle is that the diluent prevents coagulation, generally citrate is used, then fixes the platelets and prevents them from clumping or clotting. No attempt is made to lyse the red cells, and platelets are identified by their size, shape, and dark color. So in this way we can count it RBC. Actually RBC are very smaller and rounded, WBC are irregularly and large shaped, so that you can identify it from the immediate observation. Then these are the requirements: microscope, nebular chamber, micropipette, reagent, pricking needle, spirit, cotton, etc. And reagents are trisodium citrate, neutral formaldehyde, brilliant, and brilliant crescent blue, and deionized water. Then how to prepare the fluid: dissolve the ingredients in 100 ml of volumetric flask and make it the volume of 100 ml. So first of all, transfer 3.9 ml 3.98 ml of diluent into the test tube. Then mix the collected blood specimen in about 2 minutes to avoid the coagulation. Then dry the RBC, dilute the blood with diluting fluid, mix and wait for 2 minutes. Then transfer the slide to the diluent. Then place the mountain to hemocytometer inside the moist chamber. Then place the slide on the nebulizer chamber cover slip, put it over the microscope and observe the cells. So you can count it the size normally 1 to 5 micrometer. Then you report it how many cells you have counted. Then make the calculation of the total cells by using this formula: total platelet count, number of platelet counted into dilution upon volume. So you will get the final result. So result: total platelet count of sample is 33 lakh 8,000 cubic mm. So this, or we can say cubic millimeter. Then the clinical significance, after calculating that, you can conclude by diagnosis that increased platelet count is found in polycythemia vera. This is the cause. Then myelogenous leukemia. This is another cause. Then decreased platelet count occurs in aplastic anemia or acute leukemia or immune thrombocytopenia. So there are another diseases in which you can find the decrease in platelet count. So this is the example of the picture after staining, how the platelet aggregation and how the platelet smear can be make in EDTA anticoagulant, and no platelet aggregation in a black arrows, no platelet aggregation in a black arrow. So this is less here. So here are the platelet aggregation. So we can count it by observing under microscope. These are the neutrophils. You can observe under microscope how the 3 to 4 lobed nucleus is here, neutrophils. This is the platelet center in between these. These are the erythrocytes. We can these are the monocytes having a large nucleus, voluminous nucleus. Then erythrocyte sedimentation rate can be calculated or measured by Western Greens and Wintrobe's methods. Then its clinical significance includes multiple myeloma, the presence of abnormal protein in plasma, and then Rowlatt's formation causes ESR increases and suggests the possible pathogenic condition. So there are so many pathogenic conditions that can be observed under microscope by using WBC or by using blood smear. So its a principle includes that to perform the ESR test, the anticoagulant blood specimen is placed in a calibrated tube of standard dimensions and set a vertical position in a rack for an exact time of 1 hour. And at the end of the time, the distance the erythrocytes fallen from the plasma meniscus is measured in millimeters. And errors include, as previous we have studied, that the errors include sedimentation tube must keep exactly vertical. If you will keep it slanting or tilting, it will increase the ESR. The test must be set up in a quiet area. So set up the ESR within 2 hours after the blood collection. Then only standardized tube must be used. Anticoagulated blood specimen must be well mixed before setting it up for the ESR test. Carefully fill the sedimentation tube without inserting air bubbles and accurately set the time so that you can get the clear ESR determination test. Otherwise, it will give different results, and it may be a abnormal method of diagnosis. So Western green method, this is described here, is a modified version of the original method, and its Western green method citrated blood was used, EDTA was used as anticoagulant, and after observation in the normal values, the Western green in male 5 to 15 mm per hour up to the age of 50 years, or 5 to 20 below the age of 50 years. So this is the difference in between male and female. Then in Wintrobe method, this is the difference in male and female, 9 or 20. Then ZSR percentage, all ages, it 40 to 51 is a normal, and if it decreases or increases, then the abnormality appears in the patient or the blood which is given by the person. So equipments and suppliers, these are the materials that Western green tubes, section device to fill up, then Western green stand, timer, test tubes, syringes, etc. are necessary materials which are required to collect the blood and test it under the microscope. So these are the reagents: sodium chloride, aqueous solution, sodium chloride, simple in powder form, then distilled water, and the required material is necessary for the. So this is the procedure. Deliver 0.5 ml of sodium chloride into the plain test tube. Then add 2 ml of well mixed EDTA anticoagulant blood. Then check the Western green tube rack. Then make the level clear. Fill the Western green tube exactly to the mark, neither less nor more. Then keep the tube on the stand, upright, not slanting, and allow the tube to stand exactly for the 60 minutes by setting the timer. No level to the red cell column has fallen at the end of the 1 hour, and report the result in mm per first hour. So in 1 hour you can calculate the report. So this is the procedure given by diagrammatic presentation. Steps showing Western green method. First of all, the tube, you have taken the sample, mixed with the materials or the solvent, then calculate it, it's a result, then it's a upgrade moment giving how much percentage it is recovered, and then you can calculate by microscopic observation that how much it is. So this is the procedure given the Western green method of blood testing. So after the day's use, soak Western green tubes in clean water for 4 to 5 hours, wash thoroughly in the running tap water, rinse in deionized water, and dry completely in the incubator. So do not use washing powder, acid or alcohol, otherwise it will damage the cells. So cleanliness is very important. Perfectness, punctualness, and proper timing is also necessary. Then after procedure, you completion of this procedure, you will get the results. Let the reading at the end of first hour be X. Let the reading at the end of second hour Y, and the mean average ESR is Z. So it can be calculated by X plus Y upon 2. So this is the Winterlob method. Now in Winterlob method is still used in many laboratories in developing countries because it provides two test results simultaneously, and it is very economical. So that erythrocyte sedimentation rate can be rate reading is first taken after 1 hour, and then tube is centrifuged for the HCT value, and then another test or another calculation can be made. So equipments, Winthrop tubes, rack, then slide, pipette, wash timer, then blood, solvent, cotton. These are the necessary materials. Every time you have to use it. In this method you have to calculate uh, by using the procedure. Mix the blood thoroughly by inversion. Then with the long necked Pasteur pipette, pick it up to the 0 mark. Then dilute it without forming the bubble. Then place the ventral lobe Winthrop tube in an exactly vertical position for 1 hour. At the end of 1 hour, record the level of erythrocyte column and report the ESR, whatever the calculations are there. This is the steps in Winthrop method, what we have seen in the EDTA anticoagulant, mix it well properly, put it in the table, then calculate it, how much it is observed, and report it to the. So this is the simple way. Its a clinical significance shows either anemia, means RBC or cell count, then erythrocyte abnormalities, or we can call it as a hydronemia, then polycythemia or congenital diseases may appear, and that can be counted by this clinical significance method. If the normal values if the normal values comes between 40 to 50, then these are the adult male. In adult females 37 to 43 percentage. In newborn 50 to 58 percentage. In infants of the 3 months for 35 to 40 percentage, and in children of about 5 years 38 to 48, 38 to 44 percentage of these normal values. So HCT value normal chart is given here. Its a principle is that erythrocytes are heavier than other cellular components of the blood. Therefore, whenever it is centrifuged, it can appear in the upper and lower. Then the settled RBC or red cell column is called as hematocrit, and packed cell red volume PCV. We can examine it for its fraction and calculate it what the level of the cells is there. Then specimens, only anticoagulated blood is used in determining hematocrit. Then ethylene diamine tetraacetate or EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate, is most commonly used as an anticoagulant. Then microhematocrit or Winthrop method, that we have already studied, and this is Winthrop hemocrit tube. As the method what we have seen in previously, this is quite different with a little change, and we can calculate by this method how the blood hemoglobin, how the blood cell count, how the blood cells, and what is the standard and status of the blood regarding the abnormality checkup or disease condition checkup, either anemia or likewise disease. So this is the blood taken in the test tube. Then we have centrifuge it. After centrifugation, two layers are formed. In this layer, we can calculate the blood erythrocyte count, and here we can calculate plasma count. But in this middle layer, just above, leukocytes are appeared, and that can be calculated under observation by microscopic study. So centrifuge, uh, in centrifuge machine, we can calculate it with the speed uh, of maximum RPM or the medium speed to be used for the hematocrit method, in the hematocrit method, to determining the timing, then speed, then how the blood is get centrifuged properly. After upper and lower layer observation, in lower layer the upper part we can calculate for use it for the calculation of the proper cell count. So it will gives you the proper erythrocyte counting ratio. This is very simple method actually, but we have to go through these are the steps. And centrifuge, how much to be centrifuge? Up to 30 minutes, and this is the normal 300, neither 100 or 50 nor 500 to 1000, but this is the normal 300 rpm is to be used for centrifugation, and after 30 minutes we can calculate the cell count. So this is the principle. Anticoagulated blood is centrifuged in a scaled capillary tube, and the volume of packed red cells and percentage of the whole blood are determined by a special hematocrit reader. In case of anticoagulated venous blood obtained from a venipuncture, used plain capillary tubes which are cheaper, while for the capillary blood obtained from skin puncture, used heparinized capillary tubes. So equipments and supplies includes the microhematocrit centrifuge machine, then hemocrit reader, then capillary hemocrit tubes. Actually, this kit is totally available. Then modeling clay. This is used to seal the end of the HCT tube. Then hematocrit determination by capillary method. We can also do it by capillary method. Draw the blood sample into appropriate capillary tube by capillary action. Use the plain tube for anticoagulated whole blood and heparinized tube for skin puncture. In case of skin puncture, the blood should flow freely or with little pressure in the area. Wipe away the first drop, then with the gauge and collect the blood specimen. Fill the tube to about 3/4 length. Two capillary tubes can be filled from the same blood specimen so that they can work as replicates and provide two readings to be averaged. Then seal the capillary tube with modeling clay. Then alternately, the clay plug should form straight edge across the bottom. Alternately, seal the clean end of the tube by using micrometer or the spirit seal by using this clay, and heat it carefully over the spirit lamp. The sealed tubes can be kept in a vertical position. Then the sealed capillaries are now ready to be spanned in a special HCT centrifuge tube. Then after centrifugation, two layers will be observed. Then just close to the middle, in the lower dense layer, collect the sample material for observation. Then centrifuge should be 13,000 rpm to 2000 rpm for 5 minutes, whichever, plus or minus, or we can say plus 2000 rpm for 5 minutes. Then you can remove the capillary tubes and observe the sample, HCT sample, for the determination of the abnormality or discision. Then use of microhematocrit card reader includes the manufacturer supplies the microhematocrit card reader, and the instructions for using it come along with the card reader, can also be made in the laboratory. This is the actually method given how to use it. Hold the tube against the scale so that the bottom of the column of the red cells is aligned with the horizontal zone line. Then move the capillary tube across the sealed unit. The line marked 1.0 passes through the top of the plasma column. Then make sure that the tube is vertical. The line that passes to the top of the column of the red cells gives the value of hematocrit, and depending on the scale, the value can be in percentage of as a fraction of 1. Leakage of the blood, poor sealing, reading of HCT with Buffy code, errors in reading, error in recording, specimen mix-up, use of non-standard centrifuge, improper centrifugation. So these are the common errors, and that cannot give the proper and final and good results to your work done. So additional information includes that along with results of HCT mentioned in the report, note any abnormal findings like color of the plasma, either deep yellow, green for jaundiced plasma, reddish for hemolysis, or increased Buffy coat color. So this is the final. Now at the end of your chapter, some questions are given for exercise, so you can uh, work it, you can study it from the and materials given above and report it in the examinations. So blood is the red colored dash dash connective tissue. It is a fluid connective tissue that circulates throughout the body. Dash dash is the structureless, slightly alkaline, pale straw colored fluid. So plasma is the structureless, slightly alkaline, pale straw colored fluid. In this way, you can solve the questions. Uh, Multiple questions given at the end of chapter. You can observe it, report it, and do the exercise from the questions given. If you have any problem, you can ask me or you can approach me for the answers. So we will concise our speech here.